Hello and welcome everyone. Today we'll talk about our new OctoBot cloud strategies, which actually give pretty high returns. I'm Guillaume, co-founder of OctoBot. In this video, we'll talk about a new type of strategy we now have in OctoBot Cloud. We call them Smart DCA, and their goal is to reduce risks while still making a lot of profit by trading altcoins. Speaking of altcoins, one of the main parts in those strategies is to actually find the right altcoins to trade with. So we'll talk about this. How are we doing to choose the best altcoin for our strategies? Then we'll show you the different results of our experimentations. We've tried quite a lot of different setups and we are very happy with what we found. Let's talk about the idea of this strategy. Our goal is to make profits by trading altcoins. However, we want to do that while minimizing risks, because trading altcoins can be very risky. At OctoBot Cloud, we are always trying to find new ways to trade. We've been experimenting with many types of strategies, and turns out that we have excellent outcomes with what we call Smart DCA strategies. This is a variation of the very famous dollar cost averaging strategy, which is a long-term investment strategy where you will buy on a regular basis, let's say every day, every week, or every month, in order to lower your buying price, and you'll do the same to sell. This way, when the price keeps going up, you keep selling higher and higher. So we took this idea and adapted it to smaller market movements. The idea then is not to buy over a few days or a few weeks, but over a few hours. If the price goes down a bit, we buy. If the price goes up a bit, we sell. At the end, it's very simple, but the idea is to take advantage of every small market movement. At OctoBot Cloud, we believe that this strategy is very interesting because it presents many advantages. First, it works both in sideway markets and bull markets. Second, you don't need to wait for big moves to make profits. As the strategy profits from smaller market movements, it doesn't matter if your asset doesn't do plus 5%, 10%, or 15%, or even 100%. We don't need this. We just need small moves. Then, last but not least, it's never selling at a loss. There can be one drawback though. It's regarding the choice of the assets you're trading. You need to be very careful when choosing those assets, as the strategy doesn't sell at a loss. It will not sell if your asset is in a downtrend. So it's important not to choose assets that are in a downtrend. We see that coins are very important. You need to choose them wisely. So let's talk about that. How are we choosing those coins that we'll use in the Smart DCA strategy? First, each coin that is traded in the strategy must be either in a sideway market or an uptrend. Second, you must feel confident holding the asset. The strategy will buy them, so it's possible that you will spend a few days or even weeks sometimes holding this specific asset that the strategy bought. The third important thing is complementarity. We want the strategy to be trading a lot, actually most of the time. If it were trading all the time, it would be the best situation possible. So how do we do this? Basically, we want all of our markets to be as active as possible, and more importantly, when one of our market is not active, we want the others to be active. This is what we call complementarity. We always have at least one active market at a time. Let's move to OctoBot to illustrate what I mean with complementarity. For this, we will use the strategy designer, which you can also get using OctoBot Cloud. Using the strategy designer, you can create or edit any type of strategy, and you can also easily compare results of different strategies or even different versions of the same strategy. For this video, I selected a few results of different strategy runs using different coins. So let's have a look. We will start with a very simple case, using this DCA strategy with Tron and Maker. Here, Tron and Maker are interesting because they are not trading at the same time. If we have a look at Maker on the period of mid-July till early August, we see that it's not trading a lot. This is because the strategy doesn't want to trade markets that are going up too fast, as it's too risky that it would just go down and end up locking funds. On the other hand, when we have a look at Tron, we see that during this period, the market is not going up that much, except for this very small thing, but the strategy is not trading it. This allows the strategy to keep trading using Tron at this period. So this is what I mean with complementarity. When the strategy is not trading on one market, we want it to be trading on other ones. Now, the question becomes, how do we find those complementary coins? Of course, we can look at the price, but price is only past data. So it's interesting once we already know the price, but it's too late to trade it. So it's better to use a different concept that we call narrative. A narrative is the story behind the coin. If we take Tron or Solana or Ethereum, those coins are blockchain coins. Their narrative is to back the underlying blockchain. Another narrative is money transfer. Bitcoin, for example, is part of this narrative. MakerDAO, from our previous example, is part of two narratives. It's both a DAO coin for the MakerDAO organization, and it's also related to the DAI stablecoin. So it falls into two types of narratives. So what we did at OctoBot Cloud is that we explored those different narratives and tried to identify coins that belong from different narratives and are complementary to each other. Let's look at the results. So here we'll compare a few sets of coins that we've tried different things and different configuration on in order to find the best ones. So let's go back to the strategy designer. In the beginning, we tried different coins and we ended up finding that Maker and Tron are good together. So question was, how do we improve this? So we tried different things. One of them was Uniswap. Uniswap is interesting because it's a DEX coin. However, we can see that it's going down a lot, which is a problem. We can clearly see it here in between August and September. When Uniswap is going down a lot, our portfolio value is also going down a lot, even though Maker and Tron are not really going down at this period. We also see on our end portfolio that we end up with quite a lot of Uniswap. And everything that is not sold is taking USDT coins that we cannot invest in other markets. So as we were saying before, bear markets or downtrends here are not very profitable for this strategy. It's better to avoid coins that are in this situation. Let's have a look at another result. Here, we are adding Solana to our Maker and Tron setup. We can see that the result is approximately the same. We are also doing 15% within this period. However, interesting point is that instead of being trading only Maker and Tron, we are also trading Solana. So we are reducing risk by splitting our assets within 3 coins instead of 2. Let's now move to a completely different narrative and try to include privacy coins in our strategy. So let's try our DCA strategy with Maker, Tron as before, and Monero. Results are very interesting as Monero has a very different chart from Maker and Tron. It's probably because of the fact that it's a very different narrative. Here we are on privacy coins. Moreover, we can see that this chart is mostly in sideway market. It's overall flat. We can also see it through the results. Over the 6 months of testing, Monero did just 4%. We can see that adding Monero to our strategy increases our gains quite a lot. Got up from 15% gains to 24%, which is quite a big increase. So we can see that adding Monero to our strategy increases gains quite a lot, because it's allowing the strategy to trade even when Maker or Tron cannot trade because of market conditions. Since Monero is from a different narrative and is very complementary, our strategy still can trade. But now you might be wondering, what if it's just Monero? Maybe the strategy actually performs better trading Monero only. Well, let's find out. We will use the strategy designer to create another version of our strategy that will only trade on Monero, and we'll compare the result. So let's start a new strategy. We want to trade Monero. We're trading with $250 as before. We use the DCA trading mode. We use the 4 hours time frame. We don't want to use this indicator, but we want to use the RSI. Quick check. Yes, this looks all good. Perfect. Let's go for it. So this strategy trading Monero makes 16% gains. This is very similar to the results we had trading Maker and Tron together. However, This is much lower than what we got trading Maker, Tron, and Monero together, which was 24. So overall, we can conclude that trading those three together takes opportunity of the complementarity of those coins quite well. And there is a real benefit in trading all of those three together. So this concludes this video about how we created the latest Smart DCA trading strategies on OctoBot Cloud. A few variations of those strategies are already available on OctoBot Cloud. OctoBot Cloud will show them with their traded coin and their historical results, so that you can have an idea of how much profit you can make using them. And the best part is that you can already use those strategies. They are available on OctoBot Cloud and they are free. Or if you prefer, you can also download the open source version of OctoBot and create your own version of this strategy. Now, if you want to go one step ahead and use the strategy designer that I'm using in this video, have a look at our Pro plan on OctoBot Cloud. It features a lot of things, including the strategy designer. Now, if you're more interested into the very technical aspects of this strategy, such as how many orders are created, what's the size of each order, or what's the target profit for each entry and exit, please have a look at the blog article linked in the description. We go on every technical aspect in great details here. Thank you for watching this video, and please leave a like if you like this kind of video showcasing the backstory behind each strategy on OctoBot Cloud.